A stranger came to town. That's the best. I'm sorry, but I don't have time for this.
Guns, and more guns.
Ah, you there. Are you that detective I've heard about?
Who said I was a detective?
Mayor Avery said that someone new had arrived on the island, investigating a missing person. That must be you.
Seems word travels fast around here.
I haven't been able to find any of the local police force. The louts? I don't want to start a panic, but, well, we may have a murder on our hands, and we need an outside set of eyes.
Where did the crime take place?
At the Cliff's Edge Hotel, just north of the town. Will you help us solve this heinous crime?
Who's the victim?
Well, we want to keep this out of the tabloids, but it's Ezra Parker, the financier of the hotel. Will you help us? There may still be a murderer at large.
Who are your employers?
I shouldn't say out here in the open, but my employers are quite wealthy, as are the other patrons of the hotel. Please, you must help us. Every moment we wait, our residents are at risk.
Is this conversation on the clock?
Oh, yes. Well, I suppose I do have a bit of provide for your time. Please, you must help us. Every moment we wait, our residents are at risk.
This type of investigation usually requires a retainer.
Oh, you're a private investigator, not an employee of the state. Well, yes, then I suppose a retainer can be arranged. Please, you must help.
If there may be a murderer, I'm gonna need some danger pay as well.
I'm afraid that's all I have on me, but my employers are, well, rather wealthy, and I can definitely put a word in for you. Will you help us? There may still be a murderer.
Okay, I'll help.
Oh, thank goodness. Shall I guide you to the Cliff's Edge Hotel now?
Where is it again?
The Cliff's Edge Hotel.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's be off then.
Food, stim packs, fully stocked.
Doesn't sound pleased.
Say we get out of here. Bait Shop's got everything you need.
If you ain't on, you ain't long for this world. My guns now.
Bad times.
Hey,
You another vulture circling over Andre's body? He ain't dead. Wait. No. It's a mainlander. Well, welcome to my little clinic. If you need doctoring, speak up. I wish I had...
I need a doctor.
Then speak up. I'm listening.
Huh.
You might say racist.
Enough.
Done. Now, was there anything else bothering you?
Took a few bad hits.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
You need it?
And that's that.
Paint shop's got it.
Anything else bothering you?
Actually,
What?
If you got caps, I got goods.
Follow me. Looks like it isn't just the police who have been lax lately. The Idlands building inspector ought to be fired. Follow me. Follow me.
Good to keep going? I don't sleep or eat or anything like that. But if you need to, you do it.
It's probably best Maxwell hasn't seen the state of the hotel. He would be devastated. I should warn you, some of the other hotel guests are a bit, rowdy. I was forced to defend myself when a few became a bit handsy, shall we say. The registered patrons are in a more exclusive area of the hotel, though, and do not associate with this sort of rabble. Shall we be off?
what do you mean the other patrons are rowdy?
I had not been in this part of the hotel for some time. Perhaps there is some sort of sporting event that has them agitated. Several of them tried to grab me and, well, their clothing was certainly not suitable for polite company. Shall we be off?
Yeah, let's go.
Very good. This way.
Anything useful? You're playing with You're not alone. Sorry, folks, won't be chewing on us. Someone's coming. Here you go!
Watch your step. Bit of a mess in here.
Your last man.
Look alive.
Go on. On. Lights out for you!
Watch your step. Bit of a mess in here.
Catguts.
Hey,
What's... the plan? Down a lot of rats sticking around here.
Watch your step. Bit of a mess in here.
hey.
Something up?
Nothing else for now.
Suit yourself.
Hey.
Here's what I've got.
exclusive area of the hotel. You should feel quite privileged that they will be allowing you. After you, the elevator is right there. After you, the elevator is right there. After you, the elevator is right. You need to speak to Maxwell. Go ahead and activate the control panel there.
Greetings! Welcome to Vault 118, your home away from home, underground. Are you the detective we sent for?
Why do you need a detective?
Well, there's been a suspicious death in the hotel. We need someone to investigate. Are you the detective we sent for?
Maybe. Tell me what's going on.
There's been a suspicious death. We sent someone for help, but no one has come to help us yet. Are you the detective?
No, I'm not a detective.
Ah, well, I'm sorry to say we aren't accepting new patrons at this time. Good day. Did you change your mind about helping us investigate? We really could use some help. Are you going to help us?
Okay, I'll try to help.
Thank goodness. Let me just open the door for you. Well, it's about time the police sent someone out to investigate.
Well,
we have many important residents and they're very worried.
Let's talk about my compensation first.
Very well. Consider this a retainer. Have a look at the crime scene for clues. And when you're ready, we can discuss your findings. You are free to question the residents, but their safety is our priority. So unless you have solid evidence, I would avoid accusations.
think you're doing? This is a crime scene.
Do you not see the glory of the thing? The artistry.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Excuse me?
Ezra, you have outdone yourself. Oh, this is your finest work. There...
Our friend is dead, Mr. Avita. Have you no respect?
I'm just saying that
I've
at
been
least they had
told
the
the
decency to make a
Valentine Detective
spectacle of it.
Agency signed
There is nothing
an
worse
ISO.
than
If
a
I
work
may.
death.
That's what this is.
Attention. This is now a combat zone. You may suffer harm up to and including death if you remain in the area. This notice required by law. Protect and serve. Commencing lawful contempt Ali, or you will be identified and
Pieces of my leg.
Heads up.
There's something you... What do you need?
Your thoughts?
And parchment.
That's all for now.
Sure, sure.
Ezra, you have outdone yourself. Oh, this is your finest work. There is more
Must have cost a
emotion
fortune to
these
build a place
days
like this.
than most have had in their entire lives.
Our friend is dead, Mr. Avita. Have you no respect?
I'm just saying that at least he had the
Looks
decency
like
to
the
make his
brain
spectacle
enclosure
of
was
it.
smashed.
There is nothing worse
Please,
than
if
a
I
work
may.
death.
That's what
I
this is
could
to
just
you.
have your attention.
You're sick.
I'm sorry for shouting. But the detective has arrived and shall begin the investigation henceforth. Please return
Protect
to your rooms
and
until the
serve.
detective has examined the crime scene and had a chance to come speak with you.
protect and serve.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
What were you and Gilda talking about when I walked in?
Oh, we were just rehearsing a scene. Nothing to worry about.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
It's obviously Santiago. He keeps going back to look at the crime scene.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, as you probably know, I'm an actor. I don't like to brag about it, but my last picture, The Fighting Furies, it topped the box office.
Never mind.
Okay. Just let me know how I can help. Forget it. I can't do this right now.
Protect and serve.
Well now, if it isn't the brave detective. I haven't seen someone with a body like that in far, far too long.
Oh, you're not so bad yourself.
You should have seen me before all this. Red hair that was the envy of every girl and legs for days, darling. I'm sure you'd rather hear some of my stories from the silver screen rather than talk about that nasty murder business.
I must say, you're quite the actress.
What can I say? It just comes naturally. Surely you must be here for my salacious stories of the silver screen.
Have you ever done radio? Your voice is quite enchanting.
Well, darling, play your cards right and maybe I'll whisper some sweet nothings in your ear. Care to hear some of my stories, detective?
I must say, I've known flesh and blood girls who aren't half the woman you are.
Keep it up, Tiger, and we'll find out if you can handle how much woman I am. Surely you must be here for my salacious stories of the silver screen.
Why don't we grab a bottle of wine and go watch the sunset?
Sounds good, detective. That was great, detective, but we probably shouldn't make a habit of this. Catch you later, Tiger. Hey there, Tiger. Here for more stories about my acting career?
Can you answer some questions?
Sure, darling. What did you need?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Well, it is a bit strange how obsessed Santiago has been with the murder. I mean, he's always been a bit obsessive, though. He did a whole series of paintings of me, hundreds. Said I was his muse. It was flattering for a while, but the man is a bit much, even for me. Did you need something else?
What were you and Keith talking about when I came in?
Oh, that? We were rehearsing. Gotta stay sharp if we're going to rebuild Hollywood. But Keith always gets flustered when he's upset. Did you need something else?
Tell me about yourself.
My favorite subject. Simply put, darling, I'm the greatest actress in the world. When this international scuffle blows over, I shall return to the silver screen and lead the world to a new golden age of cinema. Did you need something else?
Never mind.
I'll be around, languishing from your inattention.
Hello, detective. How can I help? Did you have questions?
Never mind.
Okay. Just let me know how I can help.
Protect and serve.
Hey there, Tiger.
Is this blood? Perfect. A baseball bat? Huh. What's this doing here?
Well.
strong arm of the law. Tell me, are you a devotee of the arts? Does that cruel muse call you to her entrapping bosom?
Art is life. Without it, we are no different than animals.
Perhaps, if all we are is a sentience floating in a suit of flesh, or metal, I suppose, then art is the only true communion with the world. Come with me. Tell me, what does this piece say to you?
It's about composition. The balance of colors and emotions and the struggle to maintain internal order.
Indeed. This was the last piece I did in a scene. Her emotional landscape is super in this way. Tell me, what does this one say to you?
It's the war. Bombs from every direction. No up or down. The world turned on its head.
I suppose in a way it must be. Art shapes the world, and the world shapes art in return. All art must therefore be constantly reborn through the lens of contextual and historic interpretation. We must ascend. And what about this one? And please be honest, for art without honesty is just politics.
It's cute, I guess. Some people like that kind of thing.
More than you would imagine. Truth be told, this is my best-selling piece. I did this series under a pseudonym, of course. This series has made more money than any of my serious works. And I did the whole thing as a lark. What does that tell you about the value of art to the common man? Ah, my fellow connoisseur of the arts. Here to see my latest work?
Tell me about yourself.
What is there to tell? I am one of the premier artists in the world. My work is primarily in oil paint, but I have been known to do sculpture or performance art as well.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
The person you should be looking at is Juliana Riggs. That Philistine would not know art from her own excrement. She and Ezra had a rather dramatic fight recently. You could hear her banshee screeches all the way across the hotel.
What were Juliana and Ezra arguing about?
I don't know. I was painting at the time and I was trying to block it out. Though I bet Guido probably heard them. Maybe you should check with her.
I think you should explain why you keep returning to the crime scene.
It's for inspiration, detective. The others do not like to think about it, but even we shall die someday. Like Prometheus' torch, it kindles within me the fire to create as much art as I can with the time that I have.
It sounds like you've done a lot of paintings of Gilda. Why her?
Our Gilda is a very singular creature, detective. Do you not see the joie de vivre from within her? I have never met another who clings to life so tenaciously, who lives so in the moment. I must admit I was quite smitten with her for a time.
You're still in love with Gilda, aren't you?
So what if I am? What business is it of yours? She deserves someone who truly understands her ephemeral beauty, not a brute actor.
Maybe later.
Good. I hope my pain... Ah, my fellow connoisseur.
Never mind.
Hello again, Detective. Was there anything else?
Your residents are robots.
Not robots, Detective. Well, not exactly, anyway. I believe the term they use is robo-brain. Back before the war, the residents decided the best way to wait it out was to put their brains inside robotic chassis. Was there anything else?
I found the murder weapon.
Oh no. That's the bat from Mr. McKinney's movie. You don't think he could be involved, do you? I can't imagine him ever doing such a thing. Was there anything else?
I'm not sure where I should start.
I suppose you should try to figure out how he died, and then who had the means and motive to kill him. Once you have enough evidence, then I suppose you'll need to confront the killer. Was there anything else?
Tell me about the victim.
Mr. Ezra Parker was the primary owner and financier for the hotel. He had vast experience managing venture projects around the world. It was his idea to have our premier clients become investors in the vault section of the hotel. He worked with Vault to have this built to their every specification. Was there anything else?
Never mind.
I'll be here should you need me.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
I found your baseball bat at the crime scene. Care to explain how it got there?
Someone is clearly trying to frame me for the murder. It's probably Santiago. You saw him skulking around the crime scene.
I think you're the murderer. The brain enclosure was smashed in, and your bat was at the scene of the crime.
What? That makes no sense at all. What motive would I possibly have to kill Ezra?
Maybe you can give me a reason it couldn't be you.
I would never harm Ezra, Detective. I was in love with him.
Tell me about you and Ezra.
Oh, God, I don't know. When we first met him, he was just so mysterious and exciting. It seemed like he had been everywhere and done everything. I convinced Gilda that we should invest in the hotel so I could stay close to him. But he never seemed to realize how I felt. I mean, we spent time together. Going hunting, having drinks, talking about his plans for the hotel. He must have known, but he never said anything. Do you have any idea what it's like to pine for someone for 200 years, Detective?
Tell me about yourself.
We went over this before, Detective. There's no motive.
I don't know yet, but I'll find the motive.
No, you won't, Detective. Because there isn't one.
Institute treats synths like tools, pawned away without a thought.
My fellow connoisseur of the art.
Never mind.
Hello, Mr. Whisker.
Hello again.
Who's up?
Did you need something?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Oh, well, that's not really my field of expertise, but I'm sure there are probably some clues at the crime scene. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I heard that Juliana and Ezra had an argument a few days before he was found dead. Tell me about that.
Well, I was in my lab at the time, so I didn't hear it. But Juliana has always been rather critical of Mr. Parker. I think she found something in the overseer's office. I wasn't listening when she told me about it. I kind of had my head in my research. I don't know, really. I try to let her handle all the money stuff. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, well, I'm a scientist. You've probably met my wife, Juliana, already. I'm not sure what else to say, really. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about your research.
Well, I was one of the leads on the team that created the first robo-brains, the precursors to our model. Most people don't find it all that interesting, and I'd rather not bore you. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I'd like to hear more about your research.
Oh, wonderful. No one else here really wants to talk about it. Functionally, this model is more or less the same as the previous versions I worked on, but without the neural inhibitor and the reconditioning. The voice modulator seems to have some minor issues interfacing with the neural matrix, which can add some moodiness. But that's easily solved with regular tune-ups. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I'd like to hear more about your research.
I'm afraid that's really all I should say about it. I mean, it is still classified, but I wanted to help with the investigation. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
RoboBrains have a voice modulator? Tell me about that.
That's what allows us to recreate our original voices. They can mimic any normal human voice, actually. I've speculated for some time that the issues we had with our recruited subjects is due to the brain attempting to preserve a sense of self. Maintaining our original voices helps reinforce the neural network, sort of like playing music for an Alzheimer patient. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Never mind.
Very well. I'll just get back to my work then. Juliana, Mr. Whiskers died last month. This
Hello,
is
Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
Tell me we don't need to find something in here.
Did you have any
'cause that
thoughts
may
about
take a while.
the murder?
If you ask me, it's one of those actors. Or that horrible painter. Their type is always the cause of violence.
I heard you had a big fight with Ezra a few days ago. Care to explain?
Oh, well, it wasn't that big a deal, really. He wanted more money to pay for repairs on the hotel. I wasn't feeling well that day and lashed out a bit at the poor man. I really should have listened to him more.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Juliana Riggs, heiress to the Riggs fortune and wife of Bert Riggs. I'm not sure what else you expected, Detective.
What's with all the junk in here?
These are our things. We're just waiting till the war blows over so we can bring them back to the mansion.
Never mind.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective. Oh. Of course. Silly me.
Just let me have a look at the neural interface matrix, and I'm sure I can clear that.
No. No, it's not that.
Protect and serve.
Actual medical degree.
Secondly, I've told you time and again, you can't get sick inside.
Maybe Maxwell has the key. Yes.
Watching a conductor at the orchestra.
I know when I'm getting sick, Bert. Why don't you just wander off and play in your lab? Mr. Swampy and I are going to rewrite the will, so he will... get everything when I die because horrible Bert didn't believe me.
Oh, God, Juliana. What else? I'm going to the lab.
Progress on construction of the second wing of the vault is completely stalled.
Sounds like Ezra was embezzling from his...
Wake up, Commonwealth. Since they're not your enemy, they are victims in this war as well. True, they were created by the Institute, but they were created as slaves. Thinking, feeling, and dreaming beings, utterly oppressed by their tyrannical masters. So join with us in fighting the real enemy, the Institute. Join the Railroad. When you're ready for that next step, don't worry. We'll find you.
Investors.
Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
There's evidence Ezra was embezzling from his investors.
Oh, well, I really don't believe that. Mr.
I think you're the real murderer.
That's just silly, Detective. Why would I want to kill Mr. Parker?
Maybe you can give me a reason it couldn't be you.
I'm sick all the time, Detective. I don't have the strength to do such a thing.
Ezra was embezzling your money. That's why you killed him and framed Keith.
You were so close, Detective.
It's a shame. I thought I could keep the ruse going a little longer. Oh, well. Had to end eventually, I suppose. This doesn't have to end in more violence, Detective. Just walk away. I'll leave, and you can tell them I escaped.
Ezra? You're alive.
Well, congratulations on catching up, Detective. Yes, I've been masquerading as Juliana for some time now.
What's it going to be, Detective? Join me in getting rich? Or die defending some outdated ideals?
Why did you kill Juliana?
I hadn't planned on it, but Juliana figured out what I was doing and had to be dealt with swiftly. I thought I could get a bit more money out of this place before making my escape.
Well, how is this going to go down?
If I'm going to let you go, I want a cut of what you've stolen.
So it's like that, eh? Fine. I'll grease your palm a bit, Detective. Now, am I free to go?
Not a chance. Your murder spree stops here.
Then let us end this.
Not a chance. Your murder spree stops here.
Then let us end this.
I found the killer. It was Ezra. He killed Juliana and took her place to hide his tracks.
My word! I never thought Mr. Parker was capable of something like this. What happened when you confronted him?
Does it really matter?
Yes, of course it matters. The man was a murderer. We need to know if he is still at large.
Turns out Robo-Brains can eat, and I served him up a heapin' helping of justice.
Well, bravo, I suppose. Here you are, Detective. Payment for your services and a bonus for uncovering such a heinous plot. I don't think we could have done it without you.
Hey.
Do something for you?
Hey, Valentine.
I think we ought to talk.
Is something the matter? You sound upset.
What? Oh, no.
We've just been traveling for a while now, and I figured, especially after all that stuff with Dima, that you deserve to know more about me. So, is there anything you want to know?
What do you remember about the Institute?
It's all pretty hazy from back then, but now and then I get glimpses. Life in